Hey, business owners, what story do you tell people when they ask, how's business going? I ask that question a lot of times, or I ask how are the trends in your industry? And people generally say, oh, it's great, or oh, we're living the dream. And truthfully, only 1 in 20 entrepreneurs really know what's going on financially in their business. And that's where the real power is, the power to make data driven decisions, the power to make those decisions faster, the power to make changes to the business and to monitor the impact of those changes. So today I'm going to give you 3 ways to quickly increase your knowledge of your business. My name is Craig Levin. I'm a business advisor, and the firm I founded is 3D Consulting. We assist business owners and operators to organize their finances so they can reduce the stress in their decisions and ultimately in their life. So let me tell you a little story. Back when I was in Verizon Wireless headquarters, occasionally I'd walk into an elevator and there would be standing the CFO of the company or the CEO, and they might say, Craig, how's business going in the Northwest? And if I said, oh, it's great, and left it at that, or I said, oh, we're living the dream, I might not have that job for very much longer. What they wanted to hear was, how are we doing year over year in sales or activations or accessories? Those are the financial KPIs in the business that we're monitoring. So I'd give them a little bit of that, and occasionally, if they look to be in a good mood, I might give them a fist bump and say, hey, we're making money hand over fist, and yay capitalism, something like that. But the key is to know the numbers of your business, because that's going to enable you to make solid decisions comfortably and confidently. If you've watched my previous video posts, I talked a lot about examining the top line of the business or the revenue results and getting a sense of the health of the business that way. There are 3 P's to knowing how you're doing revenue wise. And these are going to help you to deeply understand your business. Okay. The first P is we compare revenue to the plan. The second is we compare it to the past. And the third is we compare it to our peers. So the plan to the past and to our peers. The first is really obvious, and it's a fundamental approach to telling how the business is doing, and being able to tell if we're doing better or worse than expected and by how much. And this is the most simple and key step to organizing your finances. But there are a few things that you need for your plan. It needs to be formal, okay, on a Excel spreadsheet or some type of budgeting software. You have to have timely and accurate reporting so that you can tell what your variances are on a regular basis and make changes real time instead of doing it after the fact. And thirdly, the budget document is going to be static and fixed, but you need to have a forecast considering the actual changes that come at us during the year. 2020 is an obvious case where if you have a budget, you probably need a forecast that is either significantly lower in terms of the top line, or hopefully higher in some cases. So know your variance, have a forecast, have a formal document. Okay. The second thing is compare to the past. So what's our trajectory? How much better are we doing compared to last year, or this month, or the full year? So that period over period is something that you should always know. The next is seasonality. Is your expected seasonality showing up? That'll help to determine if you need to change production or change plan in any way. And then lastly, comparing to the past, you want to monitor the impact of your changes. So you're pulling levers all the time to try to make changes to your business and improve the business. So you want to be looking at the results to determine, am I making a dent? Am I making an improvement? This kind of knowledge of how you're doing compared to your past is what is very important to investors, creditors, shareholders, and really the team internally. The third P is to compare to peers. Are you performing better or worse? So this is not to say that you should always be looking at your competitors and determining, what you should be doing according to what they're doing. You do what you're doing. And this one is really just progressive because it takes finding a good comparable index like the market in general or other industry peers, which is sometimes hard to get. Some examples that you might compare are store performance between a couple of similar stores in your chain of stores. You might look at your growth rate versus the industry in general. Okay, so you don't want to be looking at what everybody else is doing all the time, but you want to make sure that your blinders are off. So in the end, comparing to peers is essential, and the best leaders look at this often. I hope the 3Ps have been helpful, and the next episode will focus on the key steps for building a solid revenue plan. I'd love to hear your stories if you've tried these methods or others in your business. Please enter them in the comments. Thanks.